About this website, I'm looking for something better than this. So I'm just searching. I'm just searching. That's basically how I start. But you need to go to websites.
Since it's this embedded, is the audio not supposed to come from this? Okay. Let's say the audio don't dey come. I hope say no this audio dey pick. Now this microphone.
Look at your own mic, like this gadget.
The audio not supposed to come from.
and foster cutting-edge research and innovation in life science, particularly in the areas related to neglected diseases that disproportionately affect people of African descent. We want to see more research in things like sickle cell. Through its activities, the foundation aims to significantly enhance health ecosystems across the continent. Your Excellency, Mr. President, can you please unveil what is behind there? Ladies and gentlemen, the African Life Science Foundation and Endowment Fund to support research and development of drugs and intervention for African peoples. Give them a round of applause, please. Where's the photographer? I hope you are capturing this one. Yet another milestone. Wonderful. I don't know if any of you want to mention anything here, but if not, Your Excellency, now I'm going to ask you to gently take your seat one more time because we're going to hear from you in just a moment. But Professor, before you go, actually, your work has not finished. Now I'm going to move on to ask you to make your speech. Do you have your speech with you? Do we have his speech? Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for His Excellency, Professor Benedict Orama, President and Chairman of the Board of Directors at Afrexim Bank.
Thank you very much, Mark. His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, represented by His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, GCON. His Excellency, the Governor here present, Governor Hope, and the Deputy Governor from Nasarawa State, Excellency, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation of Nigeria, Senator Akume, Excellency, the former Vice President of Nigeria, Alhaji Sabo, Honorable Ministers here present, Your Excellencies, former governors, former ministers here present, the former Secretary of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Boss Mustafa, who played a critical role in getting this project started, ambassadors here present, the Governor of the Central Bank, my dear brother Wankele Mene, Secretary General of the AFCFTA, also Tajuddin, representing dear brother Kaseya, Director General of the Africa Centers for Disease Control, the representative of the President of Tanzania, who graciously joined us here. We thank you for coming. Members of the Board of Directors of the MCE and the executives, members of the Board of Directors of Afrexim Bank and the executives of Afrexim Bank, my dear wife, Chinelo, who made huge sacrifices, suggestions, and emotional investments into the MC initiative, never allowed me to sleep until we got it done. My family and my friends who supported even during the difficult periods that led to this project. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and let me say I would like to start on existing protocols. I know there are so many people that are here that I not mentioned, the Director General of Customs and quite a few people. But please, for the sake of time, let me just start on existing protocol. A few years ago, I woke up to a frantic early morning call from a friend of mine based here in Nigeria. He told me that his sister had fallen seriously ill and was hospitalized in her home state, Anambra. He said that it was a heart condition that severely constrained her breathing. She needed oxygen. But the challenge was that the hospital only had a rather rudimentary oxygen equipment, mere canisters. Enquiries had not revealed a better hospital to take his sister to. And he wanted my help. A few days later, I called to update him on my own inquiries and to check up on the situation, only to be told that the woman had died. In my shock, my head swelled with countless what-ifs. What if she had the right oxygen equipment? What if she had access to a specialist cardiologist? What if there was an intensive care facility nearby? What if she had access to a comprehensive diagnostic facility early on? I'm sure that many of us gathered here from different parts of Africa who have had somewhat similar experiences as my friends, with varying degrees of outcomes. But you are so deeply religious that fatalism has become a universal painkiller. It is usually the case that when we are healthy and moving about our businesses, we talk about death, but we never consider that we can die. It is not until one experiences a close call, a near-death experience, that one begins to realize that death is a universal phenomenon, the destination for all mortals. And when we start to realize that, we begin to think differently about life, about our role in it, about the urgency to make death a remote possibility except when it becomes inevitable. We begin to wean ourselves from the debilitating fatalism I just spoke about. In 2013, I had my own close call. When I became seriously ill, I was evacuated to King's College Hospital in London, where a frantic battle to save my life ensued. Being here today is a testament to the power of cutting-edge medical research, clinical knowledge, and a solid healthcare ecosystem. The event we are witnessing, marking today, after that ordeal, is proof that society is better off saving lives than burying its dead, and that it is a living person that can contribute to development and social transformation. The almost one year I spent at the King's College Hospital battling my condition remains to date the most challenging phase of my life. Yet it proved the most revealing to me. Consistent with the cliche, experience is the best teacher. My experience taught me some important lessons about life and elevated my appreciation of life's higher purpose. As I went through the difficulties and began to see the possibilities of survival, even if conveyed to me in probabilistic terms, I know that Professor Mufti told me at the point you have 85% chance of survival. But that was, for me, very reassuring, because I thought I didn't have any chance when I came. When I began to realize, I began to ponder, to ask again many what-if kind of questions. What if I was not a staff of Afrexim Bank? How could I have afforded the hundreds of thousands of pounds sterling for the treatment I received? What if I had the money, but no visa to facilitate expeditious evacuation to the UK? What if there was no King's College Hospital with the rich pool of diagnostic, medical equipment, and clinical expertise? What if people did not invest in the research that generated the new knowledge, protocols, and drugs used for my treatment? What if there were no systems that guaranteed the gallons of blood that I received? In the midst of these thoughts, I concluded that the greatest tribute I could pay to all those who contributed in saving my life, the Almighty God, my dear wife Chinelo, Afrezim Bank and my colleagues, Daring, my friends, you all know who you are, how you cared, Professor Ghulam Mufti and his able colleagues at King's College, would be to contribute in any way I could in creating quality healthcare infrastructure and services in Africa, so that those coming after us would not have to ask the kind of questions I was asking. I concluded that one of the major contributions I could make to Africa would be to help Afrezim Bank to deliver on its health and medical strategy in every way I could. It is important to point out to Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that we perhaps would not have moved from mere thoughts to action, but from my fortunate conversation with Professor Ghulam Mufti during one of his world rounds, during which we found the commonality of purpose on this subject and the way to deliver on that purpose. Our shared aspirations would have remained a mere wish, castle in the air, had it not been that I was an executive of Afrezim Bank, an institution that had developed and documented a health and medical tourism strategy that it was committed to delivering on. We also clearly made progress because Professor Mufti had a formidable stature at King's College. So with the stars aligned, 12 years after that life-threatening experience, and about 3 years after commencement of construction of this project, the African Medical Center of Excellence opens its doors here in Abuja. For me personally, it is like moving from a valley of despair and hopelessness to a mountain peak of hope and optimism. I'm sure that you can now appreciate why our vision for the African Medical Center of Excellence is not just to provide top-notch healthcare, but to also serve as a catalyst for the transformation of the African health sector. We want this AMC and 2 or 3 others that will follow in other parts of Africa to make a bold statement to the world that Africa is finally taking its destiny in its hands in terms of healthcare sovereignty and contributions in setting global healthcare standards. I do not want to bore you with the capabilities of this hospital as you have seen them in the video. However, I will dwell on the big picture, the vision. And that big picture is that we want this initiative to lead in providing solutions to the African healthcare problems, namely the challenge of inadequate healthcare infrastructure, diagnostic facilities, and the billions of US dollars being expended in outbound medical tourism. And also to deal with the very limited research on diseases of interest to people of African descent. That's why we invested in building a cyclotron plant just over there as part of the project, which has an 18 MeV proton capacity and which would supply very scarce radioactive isotopes for comprehensive cancer diagnosis and treatment to Nigeria and the rest of West and Central Africa. With the capability to produce radiopharmaceuticals The cyclotron plant will also support the AMCE's ambition to participate in cutting-edge research, including developing new diagnostic agents and personalized treatment approaches, fostering innovation in medical science within Nigeria and the region. The MCE will also serve as the largest and most diverse biobank in West Africa, enabling it to attract global and Pan-African partnership. And because we expect the MCE to serve as a major domestic and international medical tourism destination, projected to attract over 350,000 patients over the next 5 years, we have committed to build and have commenced the development of long-stay residential facilities, doctors' clinics, research facilities, and also accommodation for those who will be working here, just over there, and the project has started at the cost of $150 million. In addition, we have also commenced steps to establish a medical and nursing school in partnership with King's College London. And I say thank you to all the people, the big delegation from King's who are here. We expect this to be the first ever campus of the College of Medicine and Nursing of King's College London in Africa. Planned investments in this place, in this facility, in this campus, is just under $1 billion, of which $300 million have been spent and another $150 million is being spent. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is the scale of investment we need to make to turn things around in Africa. This is the scale of investments we need to make to ensure that we bring medical tourism back and make Abuja the center, the hub for medical tourism on the continent, and attract other people even from as far as the United States. MC is the center that we hope will drive renewed emphasis on research in diseases of health interest to people of African descent. Many diseases affect Africans for which there are no affordable cures because no investments are channeled into researching them. We have historically sat back and waited for others to do research for things that concern us. The MCE has been set up to try to reverse that. An example is sickle cell anemia, which affects 2 to 3% of Nigerians and about 15 million Africans worldwide. It is a collective responsibility to begin to change the course of that disease. And in today's world, the pharmaceutical industry is rapidly shifting to biologics or biopharmaceuticals, driven by advancements in biotechnology, which have made biologics more cost-effective and accessible. Biologics are gaining popularity due to their effectiveness in treating complex diseases and their ability to target specific immune system components. Yet, Africans are also at the periphery because the drugs are hardly tried on the continent on our people. As a result, these drugs do not work as effectively for Africans as they do for others. Working through the AMCE and other initiatives, AfroZimba had decided to contribute to reversing the situation. That is why the MC has also been developed to become a center for cutting-edge research in medicine. In partnership with King's College Hospital, CRISIS, University of Wisconsin Teaching Hospital, Novartis, Nigerian and African universities, and many others, the MCE plans to lead research into the diseases that uniquely affect African people. Indeed, it is our aspiration that the MCE will soon emerge as the global center for sickle cell research. And working with researchers at King's College London and Novartis, Switzerland, we aim to find an affordable cure for sickle cell here in Abuja within 5 to 7 years. Since our Afrexim Bank brand is known for matching words with action, the bank has launched the Africa Life Sciences Foundation to act as the vehicle for mobilizing appropriate risk capital to drive the research efforts. You saw already the launch. That the Life Sciences Foundation is supported by an endowment fund that we want to seed with $600 million, of which our Afrexim Bank has already donated $75 million. We hope that everybody here, the government, whether from Africa or outside of Africa, high net worth individuals, corporations, and others will contribute to this effort. Because it's through this kind of investments that we will begin to change the course of diseases on the continent. And using that, the endowment fund, we also hope to support indigent people to access the services of the African Medical Center of Excellence. And just today I was talking with the Health Commission of the FCFTA, and I understand that there are 20 patients that need help. And I'm sure that with this, we should be able to work with the FCFTA Health Commission to begin to resolve those cases and others. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our President has taken even more consequential steps in fostering an ecosystem that underpins research and innovation in the life sciences. Towards that end, our President Bank Group has launched venture capital investments in drugs that are under development and near market entry and commercialization. Why is it that there are no drugs, major drugs, for which Africans hold the IP? The Chinese started making this investment just a few years ago, and today they are almost leading in that field. Today we will be signing the first investment we'll be making in this area with Mina Therapeutics. In that investment, our Impact Equity Fund, FEDA, will join leading co-investors in new drugs in betting on the outcome of a drug development effort which is now under human trials. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, today's event is not about sloganeering and generalizations. I thought I should use my remarks to set out why we are here and what we have achieved, and to galvanize everyone to commit to working with us to transform our health systems. The OMC, Africa takes the destiny in its hands. And I would like to thank all those who, instead of being drained outside of Africa, are being drained back into Africa. We thank the about 200 staff, doctors, consultants from all over the world, especially from Africa, from Nigeria, who have joined us to staff the AMCE. And we look forward to also getting many of the doctors and specialists come here to provide services. In closing, let me take the opportunity to express our heartfelt appreciation to individuals who contributed to the development and delivery of this project. We express our profound gratitude to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his able government for the unwavering commitment and support in delivering this project. I would like to put on record President Tinubu's swift response to resolving the challenges brought to his attention. It is thanks to his interventions that we are opening this hospital today. I remember we saw President Tinubu on January 1 raise many important issues. I was expecting it to be resolved in 2-3 months. By the time I got back to Cairo, our staff told me that those things were already being done. So we are really very grateful. We thank His Excellency Kashim Shettima, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, for his trust and confidence in the work of the bank generally, not just this hospital, in many ways. And to me personally, you are really a dear brother, Vice President. And being here to grace the commissioning of this project, notwithstanding that the event fell an important Muslim holiday is to me very touching and remarkable, and I thank you. We thank the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, the Honorable Coordinating Minister of Economy and Finance, Wale Edun, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Nyesom Wike, the Honorable Coordinating Minister of Health and Special Services, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs of Nigeria, Yusuf Batwatuga, the Honorable Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, the leadership of the Federal Capital Development Authority, the Attorney General, Chief Lateef Olasukomi Afabemi, the Chief of Staff to the President of Nigeria, Right Honorable Femi Odebiamila, the Chief of Staff to the Vice President, and other government officials and agencies, including the Nigerian Customs, especially the Controller, my dear schoolmate, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, a great effort. The Nigerian Immigration Service, the Nigerian Nuclear Regulatory Authority, the Health Services and Environment Secretariat, FCT Abuja Energy Distribution Company, the FCFTA Health Commission, and many others who in diverse ways accorded the bank and the project managers the vital support. We are also indebted to the former government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria under the leadership of His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari for their strong support. His government provided the land and laid the foundation through regulatory and policy support, which facilitated the commencement of the project. We also thank his officials, including Professor Ibrahim Abola Gambari, the Chief of Staff of the former President, Dr. Geoffrey Nyama, the former Minister of Foreign Affairs, the former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, the former Ministers of Health, and also Stella Maduka and Gabriel Aduda, who are pivotal officials at that time who worked with us to make sure that this project got started. We are most grateful to Professor Shitij Kapu, President of King's College London, Sir David Behan, Chairman of the Board of King's College Hospital London, Professor Clive K, Chief Executive King's College Hospital London, Professor Gula Mufti and the entire leadership of King's College Hospital London for the firm technical support that enabled us to make the right decisions throughout the development phase of the project. We'll be counting on them as we progress with this. Special thanks to the rest of our team, the team of our clinical and medical advisors, Professor Onitilo, Dr. Anwar Ohag, and Dr. Tabu Azubike, for all the effort. For the design of this state-of-the-art hospital, we sought the best in the industry globally. We acknowledge and thank the consortium of Perkins and Weil and DASA for an excellent design work. And for the construction, we were supported by a solid duo of Kappa Dabato and Naida, who again delivered this magnificent edifice alongside our other project managers, Bove Ross and Courtney Michael. They delivered within budget and within time. Tani, the medical equipment suppliers, also deserve special thanks for an excellent job under tough circumstances. Our appreciation also goes to members of the board of directors of the AMCE who are here, and of course the management.